Hey guys, excuse the shadowy lighting, the not so perfect face. It is hold on, it's 9:39 p.m. on Saturday the 15th of July. I have the house to myself. Lots and lots have happened since, Flosstube 2 went up, because I am on 3. Yep, it's been about a month. Actually, it has been a month today. So, I've got a lot to tell you guys, a lot to show you, a lot to tell you. I'll have even more stuff at the end of the month, and I'm going to try and do a video at the end of the month. We'll see how that works. I've got finishes, I've got whips, I've got new starts, I've got purchases. I've got lots of fun stories. We are currently in my bedroom. I am alone tonight. I have the house to myself tonight. Jonah has been gone. Oh, good Lord. Jonah has been gone since the 7th. So it's been just over a week. It was a week yesterday. And I still have almost 2 more weeks to go before he comes home. And this isn't like, because I've had a couple people like, oh, he's just gone for a couple weeks, like, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna be alone, like, you guys don't get to see each other a day. It's not just that, it's military stuff, so I have no contact with him for the entire period that he is gone, which is okay. I mean, we're fine. We'll both be fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's just, it's hard, you know, when your best friend is gone for a month and you have no one to talk to. I mean, obviously I have people to talk to. I mean, our other roommate, I have my family. Like, I spent the entire day with my mom today. I mean, I have people to talk to, but your best friend is gone, so it's hard. It's hard not having your best friend around. And not just not around, but you can't talk to them, and that's really hard. Just not being able to talk to the one person that you want to. And that'll get into other things. So we're going to kind of go in chronological order as best I can. Okay, so last time I talked to you guys was on the 15th. Since then, I finished 2 pieces the day after. So on the 16th, I finished, we're going to try and do this with no glare, and I finished it myself. Let's go that way? That way. There we go. No glare. Learned this trick from somebody. Angle it, and you can see it. There's no glare. So I finished the Kissing Umbrella. I finished it myself. It's just in a cheap 8x10 frame that we got from Walmart. I was going to put our initials down in the water, but I just never ended up doing it. I took double-sided tape, permanent double-sided fabric tape. I'm not sure what the brand was or anything. I got it at Michael's. If anybody really wants to know, I can tell you. And all I did was I started it on this. It's just a piece of foam board. I started on this because this is what the framer gave. I went to Michael's because Jonah was getting some stuff custom framed. And so I asked her, because I've never framed anything before myself. So I asked her how to do it, and she said, well, we can do it here, but she said it's going to be honestly cheaper, just do it yourself. And if you don't want anything super fancy, just do it yourself. She said just take some double-sided fabric tape and put it on a board and stick it on there, and you're good to go. So I started with the piece of foam board that she gave me. She gave me a foam board and she gave me a matte board, because I was going to mat it originally, but this frame obviously is not big enough to make any sort of mat around it. So we put it on there originally, but you could see anything behind it. You could see anything. If there was one teeny tiny little trail of floss, you could see right through it. So you can see on the top here, there's all the color underneath. So I got 3 rows down, and this is still good. If I peel this up, it's still really sticky. So I got 3 rows into it and went, I can see through it, I don't like it. So I peeled it off, so now I can use this for something else that has a thicker or a different colored, that's not white, that won't show through. I can use this for something else. So I put it on the piece of red matte board that she gave me instead. And in real life, it gives it just a little bit of a pinkish tinge, but not enough that, I mean, if you really look at it, you can see that there's red behind it. But just glancing at it, it's still white, which is really nice. I did notice the other day when I was looking at it, because I have this setting up at our table, his butt, it's almost sore, his butt is huge. Like, you got a badonkadonk, girls. So I never realized that until now, but I still love it. I gave it to Jonah early. I was waiting for our anniversary in December, but I got too excited and I just gave it to him early. So I finished that one on the 16th, and I finished this one as well, but let me find something to put behind it, so you're going to see right through it. So this was my adventure. I don't remember who it's by, but it's all done. It's all nice and pretty. Again, sorry for the really, really crappy lighting. It's, like I said, 9 o'clock at night. I just got home from my parents from hanging out with my mom all day, and I wanted to do this video, and I was downstairs in the spot I usually do videos, and my face was orange. The light was coming through, and my face was orange. Everything was orange. It had a huge orange tinge, so orange is not a good color on me. So we left and didn't do that. So that was the 16th. That Sunday was Father's Day. I don't know if we did anything. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. We went out the next weekend, and then the week after that I got sick, and I originally filmed a video, but I don't know what happened to that. And then the day after that, so the 28th, I started this piece right here from the Authentic Decoys from the Steele family. So pull that one out of the way. So I started. There you go. That's much better. That's actually pretty true color. A little bit closer. So started that, and this is on 18 count Ada by MCG textiles. So it's on a huge piece of Ada, and I just cut this. It's going to be about an 8. It's an 8x8 square, almost 8x8 square, and it's going to be the square, or the piece itself will be a full coverage piece of about 4 3/4. So, and then I cut another piece the same size that I haven't started, but I haven't figured out which one, but I'm going to do another one of those on there. So I started that on the 28th. On the 30th, I started this piece for, I started and then finished it like 2 days later. Finished it in 2 days. This is 4th of July by Lizzie Kate. You will notice that I changed all of the colors. Well, I didn't really change all the colors. I just picked colors what I had in stash. So like, this is just a blue that I had, a red, almost white, because this is a cream. This is a cream, not cream. It's darker than cream. It's like taupe colored fabric. You can't really tell in the picture here, or in the video. So originally the fireworks are white, but that was not going to work with my fabric. You couldn't see it. This isn't even white. This is 700 something, I think. 700 or 900 something. So I just changed the colors so that it would work on there. So I just did a this blue, this red, and then a different light blue, and I just did an alternating pattern on both of those. So finished that, started that on the 30th, finished that on the 4th, and that was for the Patriotic Sal through, I believe, Stitch Mania, and it also worked for Tour Day Designers for the beginning of July. And I just put that on the bottom of my cat piece, which I will show you right now, because I'm trying to kind of sort of go in the order. Whoop, wrong way. So I had to take my hoop off of it. So I worked on the cat piece. It's almost done except for I gotta fill in this piece here. There's a little bit down here, and then the cat, and then over here. And it's all the same color. I just don't want to do the big blocks. So that's really coming along. And then I just have the next, like, I think it's a column and a half on this side to finish. This was the first page, and then there was an extra column and a half on that side. So I got to work on that. I just haven't been wanting to. Let's see. And then I didn't work Monday the 3rd. The 4th I didn't work, and what did we do on Monday? We just kind of hanged out. We just kind of hung out, did fireworks with the family and stuff like that. And then we left the next day. We left on the 5th, and I brought Jonah down to the cities. We stayed with his family for Thursday, and then I dropped him off at the airport on Friday morning. Let's see. So yeah, I dropped him off on this morning of the 7th. Then on the 10th, I think it's the 10th, I have my own made up, oh wait, I did something else before then. I worked on, and I'm actually, should be pretty much almost done with this. I have three more colors in backstitch. Worked on Washington, D.C. It came out of one of the Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, not this one, but it came out of one of these. It's called Washington, D.C. Where's my bag? There it is. January, February of 1993. That's what it'll look like. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's what it'll look like. They did theirs on Blue Ada, and that's what they suggested, but I just put it on the bottom of the cat piece. So I just have the white trim, so there's a white trim between this orange and the picture. The white buildings, there's one here and one here. And then the blue sky, a little bit more of the grass. Or am I done with grass? I actually might be done with grass, I don't know. So blue sky, the white buildings, maybe more grass, and then backstitch on the whole thing. So that's coming along nicely. Put that off to one side. And let me see what day it was. I want to say it was the 10th. Just checking my Instagram really quick. This one. 4 days ago. 1, 2, 3. Nope, the 11th. Oh, that was a fun day. So on the morning of the 11th, wait, backing up. Hold on. Okay, so dropped John off on the 7th. And then his mom and I went shopping, and I went to Stitchville, USA, which is in the cities. It's in a city called Minnetonka, just outside of the Twin Cities in Minnesota. I went there and I got some stuff, and I'll show that later. And I'm actually going to go back when I pick him up at the end of the month. I'm going to go back to the store and look some more. So I went down and did that, came back Friday night, was here Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we get to Tuesday. Tuesday morning on the way into work, I got into a car accident. With Jonah's car, not my car, which makes it even more fun. I'm fine, so is the other lady. I got T-boned, and so the day of the 11th was me pretty much just being on the phone with insurance companies all day, getting stuff situated with that. So I didn't end up going into work on the 11th. So a lot of time I was on the phone with the insurance company, and when I was doing that, I was getting other stuff done around the house while I was on hold. So got all that stuff figured out on that day, and I decided to make that day as well my fandom day stitch. So it's going to be on the 11th of every month now. I'm going to, so kind of like people do Dark 13 or full coverage on the 5th, I'm going to do on the 11th is my self-made fandom day. So it'll be anything that can be fandom related, TV, book, anything really, honestly. So I worked a little bit on the Harry Potter one. I did all of the back stitch on this page. So you guys can see all the back stitch. It looks so, well, almost all of it. I just have to do this line and then the letters that go in there. But otherwise, it looks fantastic. So that's that. I worked on that, and then I started another one. Put that back in its bag before I lose it. I've got like a mess going on my bed right now. So, worked on that. Then I had a new start, and this is on, I'm really lazy and I didn't want to cut the paper page, and I was really having a crappy day that day, so I didn't even cut the giant 30 by 36 piece of Ada that I started working on. So it's literally, it's this still the whole piece. And I started this free pattern that I got. It's a Doctor Who quote in the shape of a TARDIS. So I started at the bottom. I didn't want to do this. There's a whole block of blue that goes all the way across the bottom. Didn't want to do that, so I wanted to do words. So I counted up from the bottom and started the words, and now I'm starting the next one. So this is going to say universe. So I got RSE. So that's slowly coming along, but I wanted to work on that. I wanted to start something new that day. I was having a shitty day. I didn't really want to work on anything. Sorry I keep saying that, but I didn't want to do anything, so that's what I worked on. So that was on this giant piece of MCG textile that I was too lazy to cut, and I'm still too lazy to cut. So I don't even know if did I work on this. I'm just going to start showing you guys stuff. I'm sure I probably haven't worked on half of this stuff, but I'll show you anyway. The other one I worked on, I don't know if I worked on, I don't think I worked on these last two, was the Leap of Faith. So I think that's in the same spot you guys saw it last time. All the words are on there, and I've been doing some backstitch. I don't think that's any different or newer than anything you guys have seen. So that'll go back in its little bag. Whoops. Maybe it'll go in its bag. Then the farmer's market. I don't think I did anything on this one either. I'll show you anyway. Actually, it's not really super see-through, so I gotta hold back. So I had to unpick carrots because I did it wrong. So I have to put the carrot back in. So it did change a little bit since last time you guys saw it. Because I started working on it, and I started working on the carrot, and then realized I stitched it wrong, had to unpick the whole thing, started stitching it again, and got really frustrated and said screw it. So yeah, now we're at the 15th. Monday is a new start. I don't know if or what I'm going to do for that. It'll probably be another full coverage piece so I can use up my Ada. I have a bunch of pieces that I could start that I just bought that I will show you in a second here, but I want nice fabric before I start a couple of these. I want nice fabric, and I don't really have. I mean, I don't have places to buy it unless I buy it online. The only thing I can buy up here is Ada, or maybe even if I go up to Joann, or not Joann's. If I go up to Hobby Lobby, but I'm not really in a spot that I want to do that right now. So I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patterns. 6 patterns in one kit. All of the patterns were on sale, and the one kit that I purchased was the only thing that was full price. So at Stitchville, they have a whole back hallway that's just full of huge bins full of patterns, and I was there for probably about an hour and a half, and I only got through 2 bins. So I'm going to go back and spend a couple more hours and try and go through some more bins, and we'll see what happens. So I got Prairie Moons, Martini Witches. Here, I'm going to take it out of the bag. You can't see me. It's so glary. The one thing I really liked about this shop was on a lot of their patterns, if it doesn't have a good, decent picture on the front, the store would take a picture of what the pattern is going to look like when it's done and stick it on there, which was really neat. So this is Prairie Moons, Martini Witches. I'm going to go back and try and see if there's more of this Prairie Moons, because I know obviously they're not in print anymore. That would be awesome, because I know there's a couple of those that I wanted. So that was one of the ones that was on sale. I'll go through the patterns first. I got... tape. It's just not my day-to-day, you guys. This is called Nutty Parade by Turquoise Graphics. So it's just a bunch of nutcrackers. So this is a very Christmassy piece for me, which is exciting. I don't have a lot of Christmas ones. Penelope of Poses, a Quaker motif sampler with a history from Tempting Tangles. You can actually see that, so I'm not going to take it out. That is how faded the picture is, so that one will be fun. My Big Toe, This Too Shall Pass. I've always loved that quote, so I thought that one would be fun. Not quite ready to do one of the big long dogs, so I picked their, let's see, it says Long Dog Samplers 10th Anniversary Edition for some reels. So there's 4 different patterns in here, of varying sizes. It's like there's 108 by 276, 104 by 132, 132 by 132, 246 by 134. So there are various sizes. I'll probably start with one of the smaller ones, which I think that one's going to be the smallest. I actually really like that one. So, start one of those before I try and do any of their really big ones. And then, this is the last pattern I got. It's the Gingham Dog and the Calico Cat by Carriage House Samplings. And I'm going to make this one for my mom, because she used to read this to us when my brother and I, when we were kids. It says, the Gingham Dog and the Calico Cat, side by side on the table sat. 'Twas 12:30, and what do you think? Neither one had slept a wink. So, I'm trying to get it without, there you go. So, that one I'm going to do for my mom. And then the kit I bought was one of the Mill Hill Celtic, oh my god, I'm going to hate, I hate it when people say Celtic, and I just said it. Celtic Santas. This is a Scotland Santa. So, I think I've mentioned before, I lived in Scotland for a while. I've never done a Mill Hill kit before, so I thought that To start one, I should start one that I know I would end up really, really liking. So, Scotland. I love the Santas that they do. I'd love to eventually do all of them, but I figured this would be a good one to start. And then I wanted to, that's kind of all my stuff that I have to run through with you guys. So, I was going to do the 20 things tag, but I don't know where my list is. So, that's not happening today. It's been an interesting week, guys. I definitely am thankful that neither one of us got hurt in the accident. I'm so thankful that no one got hurt. That's really honestly the big thing that matters to me, is that no one got hurt. I'm good, she's good. But it's been a rough week. Let's see. I was going to talk to you about something. Shoot, what the heck was I going to say? Oh, I was going to explain to you guys. So, I had started putting, like, monthly stitch-alongs, different stitchy things in this. And I still will continue to use it for when I finished a project, when I started a project, things like that. I've been sticking them in there. But the other thing that I started was I made a calendar now of all of the stitch-alongs and events and stuff like that on any of the Facebook groups. So on my Stitch Mania, Cross Stitch Finish Line, any of the groups that I'm in that have events, stitch-alongs and things like that, I've made a calendar. And then now I've started. So Stitch Mania has full coverage on the 5th. They have the year of start, so on the 17th you have a new start every month. Dark 13 is a thing. I've made 2 more of mine, so I've made the fandom one, which will be on the 11th, and I'm calling it Jolly 25th. So the 25th of every year, or the 25th of every month, I will work on a Christmas piece. I'm trying to figure out how I can do a couple other ones to get some of my other ones worked on. I don't know. I want to be able to touch all my pieces and not get stuck to one exclusively, but at the same time I don't want to force myself. So again, they're all stitch-alongs, they're all choice by choice. I don't have to do it if I don't want to. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on, is putting something like that together. I think that's it. This is a short video. I have a friend of mine and Jonah and I's is spending the night with me tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Sunday. She's staying up here tomorrow night because she has to be up here, and she's not from the area, so she's staying here. So I've got to do the guest room. I got to do a bunch of laundry tomorrow. I got to make the bed and make sure the guest room's all ready for her. I have to go grocery shopping tomorrow. I have to go plant flowers in my garden tomorrow. I got a lot to do tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff I gotta get done. Because next weekend I will be at my cabin. So obviously I can't really get anything done. So I gotta make sure I get stuff done this weekend and this coming week, so that when I go to my cabin, I'm not worrying about things at home. And then the following week I will be going to pick up Jonah. So I've got a week and a half, just about a week and a half left of no contact, which kind of sucks, which I've mentioned. Anybody who's military knows the feeling of there's nothing. So pretty much I said goodbye to him at the airport, and I won't talk to him again until I pick him up at the airport. Which would normally have been totally fine. I mean, but it was the accident, I think, was that really hit me, that I didn't have the one person that I needed. And not that I was traumatized or I was hurt or anything like that. It's just when something traumatic like that happens, I mean, even a small accident, a small fender bender, I mean, you want, you want that one person. I mean, everyone has that one person that something happens to you, an accident, someone gets hurt, you find out someone's in the hospital that really care about, or something happens to you, you had a bad day, you had a car accident, you had all these things, something bad happens to you, there's that one person that you really need to talk to and need to be there for you. And Jonah is that one person, and he wasn't here, which was really hard. It's really hard to do it without him, but you know, teaches you to be an adult, grow up, do it on your own, you figure it out, you suck it up and you deal with it. So I did. I ended up taking that day, like I said, to get stuff done around the house, talk to the insurance companies, but I also took it as a day just to kind of help myself get through it myself. It was, again, it wasn't very traumatic. No one was hurt. I mean, my car after it, or Jonah's car after it's fixed, it'll be fine. It's not the big deal. But it's that happening that, I think it was more for the fact that it wasn't my car. If it was my car, I think I would have been more okay. But my truck it's older. I've had it since I got my license when I was 16, so she's getting up there. Plus, she was already, when I got her, she was already 99. What was she? She was already at least like 12 years old, something like that. So she's getting up there in age now. I mean, she's over 20. No, she's not 20. She's 18 right now. My truck's 18. And she's getting up there, and she's starting to die on me. And so when Jonah was gone, he told me I could take his car and use his because it's better gas mileage, it's a better car, it's safer, all that stuff. So that was what we did. And now I'm driving my truck exclusively. His car will be going to the shop soon to get repaired. Hopefully it'll be done and repaired before I have to go pick him up. Yeah. You just need somebody. I needed somebody, and I mean, called my mom, and that was great. I'm glad she was able to be there to just kind of, when you don't think quite straight, when your adrenaline's going and stuff like that, sometimes you don't think things through properly, you don't think straight, and it's nice to have somebody there that has a level head that's going, okay, yep, nope, do this. That was a weird noise, but we're just gonna move past it. So yeah, that was fun. But see, today, I worked around the house. No, what did I do today? Got up, ran a bunch of errands, went over and saw my mom. We went and did some more errands together. Got the fabric to make the valances for my kitchen windows. I'll show you guys the fabric when I get those back, when I'm done with those, because it's so pretty. My mom is going to sew them for me because I'm not the greatest at sewing straight lines. So she's going to, excuse me, she's going to sew those for me. Plus I don't have a sewing machine, so she's just going to sew them up for me. It'll take 3 minutes, so it's easier for her just to do it for me rather than me come over, borrow her machine, set it all up, and it's easier for me. I just left the fabric with her, and she'll just do it when she pulls it out. So we bought that today, and my mom and I watched some movies together. We saw, very loud car. We saw Passenger, the movie with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. And then we watched the new live-action Beauty and Beast, which they were both very good. My mom and I are so bad with movies, though. No one likes to watch them with us because we talk through them the whole time. Not like have a conversation and not watch it, but it's like something happens and my mom and I will be like, oh, just watch, this is gonna happen. Or someone does something and we're like, well, that was stupid, and we talk about it. I mean, not like talk like in depth, but it's like we make jokes and do all kind. We're just weird when we watch movies together. We tend to talk during them, and no one likes that, obviously. There's not many people that like when you talk during a movie. I feel like I've got peeling skin, but I don't. Oh, I got to sit in the pool today. That was nice. My parents have a pool, so my mom and I sat in the pool for a little while before we ran errands today. But I've got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Laundry, guest room, groceries, kitchen. Just making my house semi-presentable for my friend to come over. I know it's not that big of a deal. She's like, I could care less. She's like, you don't even have to set up the guest room. I'll sleep on the couch. I'm like, well, I have a guest room. I want someone to use it. So I gotta get that set up tomorrow. Because right now it's kind of like a storage spot for all of our crap. And my room's a mess. You don't even want to see it. I mean, I haven't done laundry in a while. So I gotta do laundry. Oh my god. I'm so tired, but I want to like stay up and stitch and read and do all the things, and I'm exhausted and I probably shouldn't do all the things. But I've been talking for 6 minutes about random stuff that you guys don't even care about. So I'm gonna go get some stuff done, maybe, or just go to bed or watch Flosstube until I fall asleep. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Quite figured that out yet. But I'm gonna go let you guys get back to the rest of your life and not listen to me jabber on about random things and being alone without my boyfriend. That is hard. There's one thing that you don't realize how much you see someone and how much they're around until they're gone. Like, pretty much since Joan and I have met, besides here and there of one of us being gone for a week or two. And during those weeks, we get to talk to each other. I mean, we can still communicate. You never realize how often someone is around you and how much you really talk to them until you can't. And just this past week has showed me how big of a thing how big Joan is in my life. I mean, we see each other every day, throughout the day. We talk to each other constantly. I mean, he's my best friend, so I mean, we're always talking to each other. So it's just you don't realize how much you have with them throughout a day until you don't have it anymore and you can't have it, and it's like, I don't know what to do when there's, oh, this happened, oh, I want to tell, oh, I can't. So, because, and it's not just like, it's like random things. Excuse me. It's random things where it's like, that he would understand that not everyone else would. Like, oh, I saw this today, and oh, he would have thought this was super funny, but you can't, and after a month has gone by, it's not funny anymore. It's no fun to wait a month to tell someone something that would have been funny at that point, but now later when you have to tell them and explain it to them, it's not that funny anymore. Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting all depressing sounding now. I'm gonna go. I'm probably making y'all depressed right now. I'm gonna go. So, have fun. Stitch a lot. Don't be depressed because I just made really depressing talk for the last, 5 minutes. But I'm gonna go stitch and do something. I don't know. Or maybe I'll go. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna go now. Again, have fun. stitchy stuff, do stitching, get it all done. I'm gonna stop talking now. I need to go to bed. Okay, bye guys.